After consistently doing the Wim Hof method for about 2 to 3 years now, there's a few tips that I've compiled for you guys who are new to the breathing technique. And if you haven't already checked out the videos down below, I highly recommend you check them out to learn the benefits as long as what the Wim Hof method even is. Let's just hop right into it. Tip number 1 is to start by breathing through your nose. Breathe in and out through your nose. I like to do this for the first 10 to 15 breaths to get the nasal passage prepared for the breathing, get it opened up, get the air flowing. And then throughout the rest of the breathing, I'm breathing throughout my nose and my mouth to get that extra inhalation and exhalation. While on the topic of nasal breathing, I would like to talk about the exhale. When you do those 30 breaths, you exhale afterwards and you hold it. And I noticed that when I was doing this breath hold, I would take little inhales throughout my nose and I didn't even realize this. So what I would do is I'd be very aware of my nose and holding it while I was on that breath hold. And I would even sometimes just hold it with my hand. That way I just wouldn't have any exhale or inhale at all while on that breath hold. And now while on the topic of breath hold the breath for as long as you'd like. Wim Hof says this in his video. Pause the video if you'd like to continue the breath hold. But if you want to stop sooner than he tells you to stop, you can. When you first begin, do not push yourself too hard. And then as you go on, you'll be able to hold your breath for longer and longer. You'll be able to push your limits further and further. Just be aware of how you feel. If you feel lightheaded, you feel like you're going to pass out, don't push past your limits. Tip number 4 is meditate while you're doing your Wim Hof breathing. And I said this in a past video, but I like to use the affirmations, I am not the body, I am not even the mind. So I breathe in, I'm not the body, I'm not even the mind. And I like to just say this in my head, but this comes from a guy, Sam Guru, I think is his name, I don't know exactly. But he has a very powerful meditation where he says, I'm not the body, I'm not even the mind. And I'll actually link that down below because if you follow it, you'll get the idea of what I'm trying to say here. But it's incredible. It puts you in such a meditative state on that exhale, even a meditative state while you're using the affirmations. Highly recommend you try it out. Or you can literally use any affirmations. I like to even say, inhale peace, exhale stress. Inhale confidence, exhale timidity. Whatever the fuck affirmations you want to say. It makes it even more powerful if you're doing the breath along with it. So try that out. Tip number 5, do this with a cold shower. And Wim Hof, if you know who Wim Hof is, he's the Iceman, right? He created this breathing technique in order to endure the cold temperatures. And then he later found out all of the benefits of doing this breathing technique. You can do this outside of a cold shower, but I highly recommend doing 2 rounds outside of a cold shower and then do the last round in a cold shower. It's very fucking powerful and you'll get the benefits of both the breathing and cold shower and you'll feel fucking amazing. Tip number 6 is to just breathe on your own time. I really like to use Wim Hof's guided breathing, and especially if you're new, I'll link that video down below too. But eventually you get to the point where you want to take deeper inhales, deeper exhales, and you don't want to hold your breath for just a minute 30, you want to go longer. I do feel like he guides the inhales and exhales a little bit too quickly, but do it on your own time. Try different things out, see what works best for you. Tip number 7, this can go either way, but either don't push past your limits or push past your limits. Just know your limits when it comes to the breathing technique is tip number 7, I guess you could say. Because if you're feeling lightheaded, if you're feeling like you're going to pass out, you definitely want to stop. But if you feel good, you feel amazing, you feel that fucking crazy wave of relaxation, go push past your limits, hold your breath for as long as possible. This will increase your willpower. This will increase the benefits you get from the breathing technique. Do as many breaths as you want. You can go 50, 100. You're going to feel insane. You're going to feel that crazy wave of relaxation, the tingly feeling you get throughout your body, that over-oxygenation of your blood. Just try it out. Try different things. Just know your limits. And I'd also like to mention, do not do this breathing technique while operating motorized vehicles. Tip number 8 is try this breathing technique throughout different times during the day. I like to do this when I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling tired, or even while I'm doing an exercise. So right before I'm about to do some push-ups, I just do the breathing technique and I notice I can do way more push-ups than I ever could before. Try this at different times during the day. You'll find that it helps almost fucking everything in your day. It'll help you feel more relaxed, peaceful, present. It'll give you more energy. Try it out. Find out what time works best for you. Tip number 9, I know I talked about limits before, but push past your limits. Your brain will tell you, yo, inhale, what are you doing? You can't hold your breath for this long, but you can. You just inhaled so much fucking oxygen. Your body is over oxygenated. You can hold your breath for a lot longer than you ever could have imagined. So just push past your limits. Also, if you feel like 30 breaths is not enough, do 40, 50, try as many breaths as possible. And sitting there and breathing is not easy. If you're used to scrolling on your phone all day, watching Netflix, eating junk food, playing video games, your level of dopamine is so fucked. Everyone's level of dopamine is so fucked nowadays that doing anything hard, and breathing is not hard, we breathe all fucking day, but doing anything that's somewhat hard is too uncomfortable. We don't want to do it. We'd rather go watch some YouTube. What are you doing right now? So doing this requires a bit of discipline. It requires a bit of willpower, but the more you do it, you actually boost your willpower, you boost your discipline. So push past your limits, do as many breaths as you feel like you can do, and hold for as long as you feel like you can hold. Tip number 10, the last tip for this video, is make this a habit. Do this every single day to see the benefits daily. You can't just hit the gym once and you're gonna get fucking jacked. You can't just read once and become a genius. With any habit, any skill, you gotta do it daily. You gotta create the habit of doing this daily to see the benefits daily. These are all the tips I have for today's video, and I could definitely think of some more just while recording this video. But if you have any more, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know how these tips helped for you, and if you want me to make a part 2 on this, let me know in the comments. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.